Hey, it's Boomer again. I know you're going to get sick of me. I hope you don't. I know you don't have an hour of your day to be spending with me on here, but I have another story that happened to me today, and I got to share it while it's fresh in my mind. We came out of the eye doctor. I'm wearing my shades because my eyes are dilated. Tammy had to drive, and I was a nervous wreck because I do all the driving. And I guess I'm very critical of her driving, which I shouldn't be. She's a fabulous driver, but I'm a nervous wreck unless I'm driving. So she wanted to return something to Kroger. So we pulled up to Kroger. I said, Tam, just park over here in front. And if I have to move it, I'll move it. Don't go in the walkway, but stay over here. And I'm in the passenger side. She went in to return something. She was only gone a few minutes. And I had the window down. I had the radio playing. And a father and a son walked out of the store. And the son was just making, eye contact with me. And anybody that knows me, if you look at me, I'm saying hello. So I turned off the radio. I said, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" And he was so excited that I had said hello to him, and he started walking towards me, and my autism sense went off. I said, "This kid's autistic." I knew immediately. I'm so good at that. I know I said I'm good at figuring out people where they're from and accents and things like that, but me being on the spectrum, I have a gift where I see somebody and I know before they open their mouth, the way they walk, just certain things that I catch on to immediately that I know you got autism, you're on the spectrum. So he started walking towards the car and I said, "Hey, how you doing, buddy? What's your name?" He said, "I'm Cole." And he told me his last name, I forget. And I said, "Well, it's so nice to meet you." And I shook his hand. I said, "They call me Boomer." And he said, "Boomer, I like that name, Boomer." And I looked at his father and I said, "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" And he told me his name, and I forget his name too. But just one look at the dad, he's on the spectrum too. Obviously, he's high functioning. He's got a kid. He's living his life. I know immediately. I'm telling you, it's genetic. Okay, it's genetic. So you have a son or a daughter with autism. Look in the mirror and think back of when you were a child, and maybe you'll understand that you're on the spectrum too. Okay? So we got to talking. I said, "Can I ask you a question?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Did they pick on you at school?" He said, "Yeah, a lot." And I said, "You know why they pick on you?" And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because they're jealous of you." I said, "I hate bullies." I said, you go back and you tell them to stop picking on you, or you're going to have your Uncle Boomer come take care of this. Because I'm telling you, I don't like bullies. If I see you bullying somebody, I don't care how big you are. I don't care who. I'm gonna rip into you. I'm not saying I can beat your ass, but I'm gonna give it a try if it gets to that. I'm telling you, I don't mind taking a beating for somebody that's disabled in any way. That you're gonna pick on them, not on my watch. So I said, "They're jealous of you," and I said, "You are so special." I said, "You know why you're special?" And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because you're on the spectrum." I said, "You have autism." And I looked at the father, and oh, it upsets me when the people don't tell their kids what's going on in their lives and show them how to advocate for themselves. And I thought maybe for a minute I overstepped my boundaries. And I looked at him, I said, "I have autism." He said, "You do?" I said, "Yeah." "You know what that makes us?" And he said, "No." I said, "That makes us special." And that's why people pick on us, because we're special, and they're jealous because they have to put you down to lift themselves up. He said, "Yeah, you're right. And the father, he was not saying much, but I could tell maybe he doesn't have the conversation that we had with Stephen. Like, "Stephen, you know why you have autism? You know what, Stephen? You got it from me." "Really?" "Yeah. But look at Stephen. Here I am. I worked for one job. I never got fired. I worked 30 something years, and I raised a family, and we have a house, and we have a car, and we eat. There's nothing wrong." I mean, some people are more severe. There's a large spectrum. But Stephen, I'm not going to lie, you were a lot more severe than I was when I was your age. I talked on time and I did things on time and I got good grades like you. But there's something there. Like the teachers would always say, I would get S's and everything in kindergarten and N in conduct because I'd finish my work fast before everybody else and then I'd act up. And nobody knew what was going on back then. And then my father used to tell me that he had little problems in school when he was young. They thought he was dyslexic, or he's growing up in Newark, New Jersey, and he plays the violin. You know how many times my father got chased home with his violin so he didn't get it stolen? Probably 1,000 times. So we had a nice conversation, and I told him how much I loved him, and I gave him my Facebook name. And I thought by now he would have sent a friend request, but maybe the father doesn't want, his 16-year-old kid being friends with a 66-year-old guy. I don't know. You got to be leery these days. But I said it right in front of the father, and as the kid walked away, I heard him say, "Hey, Dad, he was a great guy." And it made me feel so good, and I made his day, and he made my day. His name was Cole. Cole, if you ever get to see this in Cartersville, at the Kroger, that was me, Uncle Boomer. You can like me on Facebook and find me, and I hope you're not upset that I'm saying this video here today, because your friend, they're not friends. If they're picking on you, they're not friends. They're not friends at all. So you got a friend in Boomer. My son Steven, he's 34. He'll be your friend. My son Kyle, he's 33. He'll be your friend. You got plenty of friends out there. Just look around, choose wisely. Anybody that picks on you is not your friend, So everybody out there knows somebody with autism. Let's lift them up. Talk to them. Maybe sometimes this kid looked you right in the eye. It wasn't one of these autistic kids that can't look at you, or he would have hugged me if he had a chance. There's kids that won't hug you. They don't love they won't even hug their parents. I'm lucky that my son with autism loves me and hugs his mother, tells us he loves us. I mean, not all children with autism do. The spectrum is wide, my friend. So just another great story. And this happens to me every day because I take the time to say hello. I take the time. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter of anything. I say hello. And you see today, I met people in Fazoli's. I met a kid that was, he did a little thing for Fazoli's to try to drum up business, because if you don't go to these places, they're going to close down. People are going to lose their jobs. Why go spend $40 on a dinner? You're going to crap out an hour when you can go spend $8 and have a great dinner. And I'll be hanging out. You can hang out with me. We'll have some fun together. So just another story. I'm sorry. I'm rambling over here, but I am enjoying my life right now so much. And thank you for sharing this journey that I'm on right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I got a new story every day, because I'll say hello to you tomorrow if I see you. All right? I love you. And pretty soon, bullies out there, there's a lot of kids with autism. And pretty soon there's going to be more of us than there is you. And what are you going to do when we stick together? We kick all your asses. Remember that. There's a little tip from Uncle Boomer. Don't be an asshole. That's the theme. Don't be a bully. Don't be an asshole. Love your neighbor. Love you.